Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gambling Goals. I'm your host, Mitch Carr. You can find me on Twitter at MitchCarrTV. Prospector Sam, your house, or your cave, rather. I'm not sure which it is. I think it needs to be a little bit more seasonally decorated, like mine. Either way, you can find him on Twitter at Prospector Sam. Sam, what do you have to say for your dour conditions back there? There's no Christmas spirit.
Well,
Unless you're Jewish, in which case it's totally fine. Hanukkah's already passed.
I have a lot of Christmas decorations. Unfortunately, most of them have telling things on them, like your ornaments, kind of say something about you. And, I have some from like colleges and high school and, different stuff. I can't really be giving that information out. So unfortunately, we cannot do that. But I can assure you there's Christmas cheer everywhere. I'm a big fan, but yeah, I have the most dour and boring corner of my home for this occasion because I just care about you that much.
Now, don't forget, he comes to us from an undisclosed location. However, I can confirm it is not the North Pole that Prospector Sam is coming to us from. He is dead even on the season, 23-1. Now, it's been a while since he recorded because we are real people outside of this recording. We do have other jobs, and Sam is getting crushed by his job. But he's going to crush it for you because he's still putting out the picks on dimers.com. This week, we don't have any midweek Premier League picks, but if you want some midweek Premier League picks, he's already put them up at dimers.com. You can find them there, and they've already been successful. I just know it, including Manchester City putting up 7. I don't even know if you picked it. I just wanted to bring it up. It's completely out of context. But what do you have to say about my team being awesome?
I had City, or I had a total over 1.5 in the first half. So minus 105, got that one done in the 13th minute, and I got to sit back and watch some Belgian Jupiler League and some teams I couldn't pronounce. It was a lot of fun. Didn't go entirely my way, split them 1-1, but it's always nice to watch the Jupiler League. It's just so fun to say. So yeah, no, I'm proud of your citizens. My team doesn't play anymore. We just kind of have folded on the year, so that's a blast. I think they tried to commit like proverbial suicide, but it didn't work out. So we're back on Wednesday or Thursday, and then that's what it is. We're just in the swing of big Premier League soccer, and that's exciting.
It is the festive season, and we will have picks for you maybe next week with some Premier League games this week. But speaking of games or teams you cannot pronounce, we're going to go to the Swiss Super League. FC Zurich, that one I don't have trouble with, but is it St. Gallen? Is it that easy? I don't know.
Where are you getting a CH, like a guttural CH from? We're in.
Depending on which corner of Switzerland you're in, they kind of speak German, so I don't know.
St. Gallen.
St.
And
Gallen.
I apologize for the lack of Premier League, but unfortunately with the midweek fixtures, I can't get I can get lines for the weekend, but it kind of doesn't make sense to do it. So we went with a full international slate because these leagues all aren't playing in the midweek, and I don't have to pretend like we're talking about this before or after games that are being played. So that's our explanation. Here we've got Swiss Super League. If you've been following along on the articles, I've done a fair amount of betting on the Swiss Super League recently. In fact, Zurich was a team that we went to a couple weeks ago for some fairly favorable odds and won very comfortably. Actually, the odds were pretty similar to this one. Minus 115, minus 120. We took that when they beat Luzern 3-0, I believe it was a couple weeks ago. Now they're back against St. Gallen at home. They're in first place in the league. They're pretty comfortably handling most of their games, especially against those lower tier teams. When they face a Basel or a Young Boys, it's a little bit tougher for them. They don't necessarily have the talent. Against a team like St. Gallen, they're third from last. Not particularly good. I just don't really get this line. It's the same kind of logic as we had in that article, right? This team is, even if you want to say not the most talented team in the league, they're playing as well as, if not better than anyone else. I mean, sitting first in the table. They're just better than the St. Gallen team that's got, fairly poor record, negative goal difference. Minus 115 at home. I just don't really see how you can not bet this. This is basically standard odds for them, first place versus third to last place. That's a shot I'm willing to take. Every time.
Seems like an easy pick right there. So that one, just put that one away, tuck it in there, make some money. Put the dollar bills together. They'll make more dollar bills. That's kind of how it works with gambling. We're gonna move on to Serie A now. Fiorentina and Sassuolo, and you're doing something a little bit different here. You've got a strategy and a couple of different bets.
Yeah, I mean, we try to get creative on here, and we try to improve our system and do all the things that you like to see to kind of make some money. Here, it's a little tough sometimes with overs and totals in soccer because you get the big jumps in odds from a goal to a different goal. Here we're gonna go with the over and do it a little differently. We're gonna go over 2.5 and over 3.5. A little weird to be betting two different things and making two different picks. But I like this a lot, mostly because I think these teams set up to score a lot of goals. I mean, both of them already have on the year. They're both scoring close to the 2-goal a game number. Both give up over or well over a goal a game themselves. They play fairly high attacking offense. They are fairly proficient in front of the net. And the reason we're going this is the over 2.5 doesn't have a ton of value, minus 165. Over 3.5 has higher value, obviously, but lower likelihood of hitting at plus 145. So what you do there is if you hit the over 2.5, you get to the 3, you say, well, I've made it across the first line. You can get that comfortable payout, kind of a bank builder bet. And if you miss, you stop at 3 and you miss at 4, you kind of call it a push, both in terms of record and in terms of money. But you're giving yourself the option or the opportunity for a kind of a double hit, and you get that high payout if they get over the 3.5 point line. Basically, you're hedging the same way you would at kind of a betting over 3 if you're more into that kind of style. But I kind of like the over 2.5, over 3.5 gives you that protection of the 2.5. You bet a little higher on that, bet a little lower on the over 3.5 with the higher payout, and you got a chance to feel good about two winners. So I think that this game could be fairly high scoring. Serie A in the last couple of years has been psychotically high scoring for a league that used to be filled with 1-0 games and
I know Italy. Who would have thought, right?
I know. So now that's La Liga, and nobody gives a damn about scoring goals over there. So I think this is going to be a good game. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It might not be one that you're necessarily tuning into for an early match on Sunday, but it's a good one to make some money on. I like it a lot.
Now, this is a special episode of Gambling Goals, not just because jolly old St. Nick is here, but also because Prospector Sam is going into another European league. This is the first bet he has given out on the Eredivise as far as gambling goals go. He's been doing it in the article, but the Eredivise, this is an inaugural pick. So what do you got for us, Sam?
Yeah, it's actually not a league I bet a ton, weirdly, even though it's fairly prominent. It just tends to be fairly boring, to be quite honest. There's not a lot of
Ix rules the roost, right?
Yeah, and there's not a lot of interesting soccer. I mean, PSV, Feyenoord, a few other teams kind of kick their way in every once in a while and make some noise. But it's few and far between. And that kind of happened last week with Ajax. They lost their first match in the Eredivisie this year, 2-1. But you look at this team and what they've done over the course of the year so far. It's pretty fucking astounding. Their goal difference is like plus 40 something in the Eredivisie right now. They're in first place. Obviously, and they've they handled their Champions League group pretty comfortably. This team is just far better than anyone in the Netherlands. Basically, I mean, you can see any given Sunday, any given Saturday, teams will show up and kind of give them a shot. And Feyenoord is a team that has enough talent to make a play here, but Ajax is just too good. This is kind of like when you see Bayern in the Bundesliga with something close to even odds. You kind of just have to take it, even if it's Dortmund or someone like that, because they're just too likely to win games like this because they're just that good. Ajax is on the road here. They're coming off a loss, so it might be a little bit shakier in terms of form, but they are just far better. Their course of the season has shown that they are a better team here. And I like them a lot. Getting close to even or standard odds. Feels great to be able to get that on Ajax in any game in the Eredivisie. So
should be some easy money. Now we're going to go to La Liga for our final pick of the episode. Levante and Valencia, they don't kick off until Monday. What do you like here?
Yeah, this line makes no sense to me, none whatsoever. Levante are just atrocious. Like if you watched any games this year, like this is the only team where you see lots of goals in their games because they're giving up that many goals. Like, they're just very bad. It's pretty embarrassing to watch. They're last place in the league. I didn't check the end of the game today, but they were going into extra time in their Copa del Rey game with some terrible League Two team that they couldn't manage to handle because they'd given up 3 goals in regular time. This team is just not very good. Valencia, on the other hand, they're not world beaters. They aren't going to be challenging for the title in the Liga. They're in 7th place right now, so they're kind of in that Europa League range where they usually end up. If they're lucky, they get a little higher than that. But they're just far better than Levante, and at plus 170 even on the road. I mean, you're getting the worst team in the league at close to a 2-to-1 payout, and a team that's in the top half of the table. It's a little bit riskier, obviously, but at the end of the day, this team is just better, and I'll take that payout. I think this game is probably closer to a coin flip for Valencia to win, and getting the extra 70 bonus points is value that you should be taking advantage of.
Yeah, Sam, while you were talking, I was like, this seems wrong, and I have checked this line 3 times. It's plus 170 both ways. This is my favorite pick of yours. I feel like it can't miss. So, hey, it's gambling. That means it's going to miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, right? Like, you're looking for value, and when at the end of the day, right? Like, you gotta take some risks. You take on ones that maybe are a lower percentage of hitting, but the value pays out higher than it should. And Valencia plus 170 against Levante is just better payout than it should be. You look at these lines, and it's really easy after games to say, oh, this is the right pick. Like, there was a right answer. That's not really the good way to look at gambling. And this is one of those bets where you just have to say, the value is right there. And I'm willing to take this risk every time, on a fairly decent team against an awful team. And I can live with the consequences. I'd love to win, but I'm happy and I'm comfortable with this bet, no matter how it plays out, unless we find out in, a couple of days that their entire team is out with COVID.
As COVID, right? Yeah, that's one of the things that's a shadow over European soccer right now, and American sports for that matter. But, if things go according to plan, these are some smart bets, some really intelligent bets that he's got for you. We're going to start to recap in the Swiss Super League, FC Zurich and St. Gallen. He likes FC Zurich money line. That's at minus 115. And Serie A, he's got 2 bets for you, actually. You decide your level of involvement and risk. Fiorentina and Sassuolo, he likes the over 2.5 at the very least at minus 165. And then if you're feeling frisky, the over 3.5 goals, that's at plus 145. Now, when it comes to the Eredivise, his first pick on gambling goals, Feyenoord versus Ajax. Feyenoord is one of the teams that can actually give Ajax some trouble. That's why this line is so low at minus 125. But as he mentioned, Ajax rules the roost in that league. They should win this match. They've only lost 1 match all season long. And then we go back to La Liga, Valencia and Levante. Levante is relegation material. Valencia is a mid-table side, and yet they are plus 170 on the money line, and so he likes that bet a lot. We hope that you win. We hope that you go to dimers.com, read more of Sam. He's branched out so much more than the Premier League. Oh, my goodness. It's only a matter of time before he starts picking NBA games. But he's picking NFL. He's picking college. I'm sure you got college basketball games going on, right?
College basketball, yes. NBA, no. I'm not an NBA guy. I'll bet college basketball, but I can't write about it because they don't post the lines the night before. So, is what it is. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. Although Syracuse is just making my heart hurt every day. Well,
make sure you follow Prospector Sam, not for the Tottenham fandom, nor for the Syracuse fandom, but for the picks, because he's going to make you money. You can do that on Twitter at Prospector_Sam. I'm your host at Mitch Carr. Well, my name is Mitch Carr. I'm not melding with my Twitter avatar yet, but that's coming in the future in some dystopian reality that we don't want to live. My name is Mitch Carr, and my Twitter handle is at MitchCarrTV. This has been Gambling Goals, and we thank you all for watching.